Hello there YouTubers, I've just ended up replacing the brake cable on, well, the gear cable on here, and my son sort of said, well, we should have really filmed it really, and it would probably make quite a good sort of DIY video to make, seeing as that's what my channel is. And the reason we've done that is the bike's been stored in the greenhouse, and obviously in direct sunlight, and all the outer casing, the sheathing on the cables there is perished. You can probably just snap that. You can sort of see it's all crackling in it. There you go, it's just all starting to crumble away. So it's just basically UV damage, basically, because it was kept in a hot environment as well, and in the greenhouse there, just in direct sunlight. So there's a little tip for you: don't keep your bikes in such conditions. But I don't know if it's of any consequence, but the bike we're working on is a Kia Blast there. So I suspect it's fairly similar to most bikes. It's got Shimano gears, and we'll just crack on with that one. So I've already done that one. So we'll have a bash at doing this one, which works the derailleur on the pedal here. So we'll just start off taking it all apart then. Right, on this particular bike we got a little, there's an Allen key, I don't know, it's barely about 2mm or so, and that loosens all the housing on the brake assembly, on the, sorry I keep saying brake, and gear assembly. So you just got to loosen that if I turn it the right way. There we go. Loosen that up. There we go. And there's two tiny screws, one there and I think the other one's right in there somewhere. So we'll get those out. Not quite sure if I had to loosen that bottom Allen key, but for some reason I remember doing it on the other one, so there must have been a reason. Put this screw safe. That feels loose, so is there another one in there somewhere? I think there's another little screw there. It's underneath. There it is. Right. Nightmare if I lose it. They're such tiny screws, so trying to make sure I don't lose that. Catch that. Keep an eye on it. There it is. The cameraman's got that. Just put it in the box there. Oh, that's interesting. It's a bit different to the other one. I wish I'd filmed the other side, but it assembles slightly differently. But that's not to worry. It's just that catch is quite different to it was on the other side. But we'll work that out. And then we'll take the cable off at this end, which is just fixed by another Allen key. Bigger one. Okay, so let's whip him out. You notice I always leave it on what would be the loosest gear, so the cable's really loose on that bottom, on the smallest gear there. So just whip that out, pull that cable out, pull it all out there. At this side, this one looks a little bit simpler than the other one, so I'm just going to try to work out, tease that out, get a tiny screwdriver perhaps. I think that will do it. I'm sure there's a little knack to this somehow. I try to lift it up above that. And get another screwdriver. Like a doctor's operation here. Just try to tease the end of that out somehow. Oh, there we go. There we go. So yeah, just simply pull that all the way through. And a bit of resistance there because the wire's probably frayed at the end. Just give it a good pull, I think. There we go. So the only bit that's really important is that really. So we just got to cut a length from the new cable like that, and then I always cut it longer than the cable that's come out because it's the usual rule of thumb. You can always cut a bit off, but you can't add any on. So I'll do the same, and obviously we don't want to cut that any shorter than it is at the moment, so we'll do that now. So here's the old bit of cable there, so I'm just going to copy that basically. I remember this was hard to cut last time. There is a fancy tool for doing this, but so if I'm ever the amount I'm going to use it, I didn't really justify buying it. It was quite expensive as well, so the snips seem to do just as good a job. And then we got the little bits to protect the end of the cable. Just these stop it fraying basically. Whip those on. We've got some spares here for the future. Oh, one on that was already on the other side. So I'm not going to bother even cutting the new cable. I think I'll do that once it's all sort of threaded in, so I think that's a safe bet there. You can't go too wrong that way. So we'll get this cable in. Just a reverse of what we just did. So just feed it in through there. And I suspect, like I said, most bikes I think would be this very similar. So, right, I think I'm just going to pull that like that and then push it through there, like so. And force of habit, I do this with nearly most things I do. I just like the idea of having the thought that excuse me, while everything's exposed like this, it's a good chance to get a bit of lubrication in there and just general protection. So I got some white lithium grease. I don't know if that's the best thing, but that's what I got on hand. So while everything's exposed, I'll just put a little spray of that in there. Getting a bit of a spray on the cable there, so there we go. And just feed the opposite end through here. This is literally that simple, and it's the sort of thing that, you know, I think most people can do it. There's no need, you know, don't like to take anyone's work away from them, the bike shops and things, but it's such a simple job, so I think most people can have a go at it really. And then let's have a look how it fed through here. I can't quite remember. There's just a little hole that feeds through there, and another hole that feeds through on here. And then back up around like that. trying to... And finally just through here. I'm pretty sure it's just a matter of tightening that Allen key again. And there we go, and that's basically it. We'll just test the derailleur, see if it actually, there we go, you can see it all moving, so we're pretty happy with that. You can always make any final adjustments. That feels a bit loose, that does, so we might have to tighten it up a little bit. So not quite as slack, that doesn't, so hopefully that should be a bit better. So let's just try the second gear. There we go, it's gone into second. Onto the top derailleur. There we go, it's going into the top one there. So working absolutely fine. Drop it all the way back down. There we are, down to the bottom one. So put it all back together. We'll tidy up this cable, and that's a really simple job. I think anyone can manage that. So it's pretty straightforward, but just plonk this back on. Remember how it goes, like that. There we go. And I'm absolutely terrified about losing these tiny screws. Just plug that in. Normally what I do is I'd cut the cable. I say normally, I haven't done this for donkey's years. And then there's a little bit that goes on the end of the cable, and you crimp it on to stop it fraying. But I haven't got any of those at the moment, so what I'm going to do just for now, just as a temporary thing, I'm just going to just twist all this up like this and sort of feed it on itself. And then when we go down to the bike shop, I'll pick up some of those little cable ends just to tidy the cable up. So we'll pack that somewhere where make sure there's no chance of it getting caught up. Just do that for now, and we'll have a final check. So we've still got the 2 brake cables to do. I don't know if there's much point in me showing you those, but it's more or less the copy of what I've just done then. So yeah, if you ever look at the back of this brake cable, these are the little bits you crimp on the end there. So what I have noticed, actually, the replacement cable is a bit thinner than the ones that's come out, but it doesn't seem to have made any difference. So these seem a bit heavier duty, but hopefully that shouldn't cause any issue. So yeah, we've done the front and rear derailleur, so just front and back brakes to do then. But just give it one final check because everything's back together. So we're on the bottom one here. We'll click it up one. There it goes, up to that gear, and then click it up another one. Really need to be pedalling whilst doing this at the same time, ideally. There we go. So there we go. Job done. And I don't know if you noticed in the background, there's my other bike, which I learnt to ride about 20 years ago, and I just picked up a really cheap one on Amazon. I think it was about £49, and I thought, well, do I still know how to ride it? So give it a go. I've just put it all together. No word of the lie, it has been literally about 20 years since I've ridden one. So I learnt this when I was out in Africa, oddly enough. It's a long story. So here goes.
Oh.
Watch me bits. There we go. Another try, eh? A bit more of a chance. Look at that, still got it. A little bit of showing off just to finish the video off. So yeah, by all means have a go at doing that brake cable, and many more videos to come as usual, all different sorts of stuff, and maybe I should do one on riding a unicycle, shouldn't I? But yeah, we'll have lots of videos. Please like and subscribe, and I've got lots of exciting stuff to come in the near future. Okay, thanks.